In the following days, since silence floated behind every corridor in Iba's home, I often stepped outside to contemplate, counting the clouds in the sky to occupy myself as I thought of ways to lift Iba's spirits. Our conversation had been fairly minimal, and though he didn't always respond, I figured that I could at least tell him anything I had wanted to. But there were several obstacles to consider. Iba, perhaps more than anything, wanted to join the Shinsegumi's front lines in battle. What could I suggest that could substitute a possibly once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? Something finally changed on one fateful afternoon.
聞いてくれ、岩朗報だぞ。
本山、どうしたんです？
新選組や伝習隊の皆が江戸を出て会津を目指すってことを知って、俺たち遊撃隊も彼らに続こうってことになったんだよ。
それは本当ですか？
こんな嘘を言ってどうするんだ。
He has a point.
新選組や伝習隊、もともとは武家の生まれじゃなかった奴らがあれだけの気概を見せてるんだから、幕臣の俺たちが何もしないなんて筋が通らないからな。
Iba fell silent, mouthing Motoyama's own words for a minute.
僕は参加できません。辞退すると伝えてください。
Motoyama froze, blinking incredulously at Iba's response failed to register.
ちょっと待てよ。参加できないってどういう。
事情があるんです。申し訳ありません。
おい、ちょっと待てって。俺たちは徳川家の家臣だろ。お前だって標準派の連中のやり方に納得できないって散々言ってたじゃないか。今を逃したら戦う機会なんて二度と巡ってこないかもしれないんだぞ。
どうしても譲れない理由なんです。分かってください。
Motoyama opened his mouth to speak, but nothing else came of it, and I suppose he had sensed that Iba's refusal was the end of it.
もう少しだけ考えてみてくれ。
Man, I feel bad. He can't do the things he wants to do because he has a promise to keep. Because of that damn fucking arm.
お前や遊撃隊の皆と一緒に戦いたい。幕臣は腰抜けの集まりじゃないってことを薩長に見せてやりたいんだ。氷を持ってきてある。お前の筒袖が入ってるから、もし一緒に来てくれるつもりになったら使ってくれ。
必要ありません。
一緒に来てくれるつもりになったらって言ってるだろ。必要なかったら捨ててくれても構わないよ。
Motoyama glanced over to me and nodded his head before briskly exiting the room. Are you really not going, Iba?
人間相手にこの力を振るってはならないとおせんさんに言われています。僕が刀を振るう相手はあの武田さんと行動さん、そして彼らが率いる羅刹だけです。
But open your eyes. The simmering tensions between the Imperial forces and what remained of the Shogunate were coming to a head, and fast. What if Motoyama, Ichikata-san, and all of our other friends in the Shinsengumi lose their lives before we get a chance to see them? Wouldn't the regret eat you alive? You might be sad now, but imagine if you had never got to say goodbye. Iba shut his eyes dramatically, as if he were wincing from immense pain. But even so,
僕は武士ですから。一度交わした約束を破るわけにはいきません。
I could practically recite Iba's answer as it escaped his lips. Because both the Tokugawa affiliate daimyo and the Hideyoshi daimyo were beginning to abandon the shogunate. These desperate times further inspired Iba to uphold an honorable, albeit sentimental, ideal of his duties and his conception of a warrior. Unlike Motoyama, though, I refused to take no as an answer. Then allow me to ask one favor of you. It is my intention to follow after the Shinsengumi men and reunite with their vanguard. So I humbly ask that you accompany me as a bodyguard on the journey there. And since all of them are going to join forces sooner or later anyway, it would be safer for us to join the Ugeki unit's convoy, wouldn't it? A twinkle flickered in Iba's eyes.
千鶴ちゃん、それは。
In this case, you aren't getting personally involved with the war. Nor would you be necessarily affecting human history either. You're just a bodyguard, taking care of one girl. Iba's mouth fell agape, and he was speechless for a second as I smirked warily. After struggling to find the words, he returned a smile.
あなたって人はそこまでして僕を新選組の皆のもとへ向かわせたいんですか？
No, I'm the one who's meeting up with the Shinsengumi. You're just my bodyguard, Iba. There was no hiding my active sophistry. But having recalled Iba's furious tantrum, the way his face tightened as he attacked shadows in the Shinsengumi's abandoned headquarters, without a doubt, this was my best form of recourse. Besides, Takara and my father are working together to produce an army of furies. I can't help but think that, when the opportunity arises, we're going to have to face that army.
確かにその通りですね。彼らを倒すのは僕の役目だ。わかりました。すぐ元山に返事をしましょう。
Really? I'll grab the inkstone for you. I rushed up the staircase, heading for Iba's study to grab the brush and inkstone for him.
ありがとうございます。千鶴ちゃん。本当に。
Sincerity dripped from his words, and it warmed my heart to see him smile like that again. Above anything else, there was a selfish pleasure to be gained in catering to Iba's whims, one that I couldn't help from chasing at every opportunity. Later that evening, as I drink my water, the two of us swiftly packed our things and discreetly began our departure from Edo.
千鶴ちゃん、こちらへ。足音を立てないように気をつけてください。どうしたんです？
なんでもない。In his new uniform, Iba looked rather dashing, and I couldn't help myself from blushing in his presence. A tasteful gold trim lined the seams of his coat, adding a gallant flair to his poised, regal demeanor.
二人とも一応俺もいるってことを忘れちゃ困るんだけどな。
Hi, Motoyama. I know. I haven't forgotten.
それじゃあ行くぞ。ようやく戦う機会が巡ってきたんだからな。
I just look at Motoyama's uniform and the cuffs, and I'm just like, pilot uniform!
ええ、分かっています。
All of us held our breaths, nodding towards one another before sprinting out of Edo's castle town. We set off for Kazasanokuni in the Josai domain, casting our faces into the wind with heads held high. Kazusanokuni, a region located in the east of Edo. Currently, it is known as the southern region of Chiba Prefecture. April 1868. We're in Aizu, aren't we? I think that's where we were headed, and we found a loophole. In the shrewd company of the Yugeki unit, Iba and I set off to head for... oh god, long name. Kazusanokuni. Oh, Kazusanokuni in the Josai domain. Ugeki unit's leader was a youthful man who ascended its ranks by virtue of his strategic acumen and charisma. Though I later discovered the unit's driving force was actually Iba himself, and its leader was a close friend of his who had gone by the name of Katsutaro Hitomi. Katsutaro Hitomi? That's new to me. Katsutaro Hitomi, one of the other captains aside from Hachiro Iba of the Ugeki unit. He served in the Battle of Toba Fushimi. I'm gonna have to look him up later. I don't think there's a lot of information on the western side anyway of Iba and the Ugeki unit. I try looking up Okuzume, and I get nothing except for Hakuoki. Which doesn't help. In Edo, a small resistance faction, the Shoki Company, formed to help topple the Sacho, and were currently gathered in the city district of Ueno. We all know what the Shoki Company is. We should, at this point. Ugeki unit had decided to station themselves at a Sekisho in Hakone. Oh. Situated in the Odawara domain, to await orders as tensions steadily rose. Odawara domain, a domain where Tokugawa's hereditary daimyo govern in Edo. The Hakone Sekisho, which observes traffic in Edo, is located here. And a Sekisho, as we've learned in Cosmo's route, it's basically a checkpoint. Check identity, let you in, deny you, or arrest you, I guess, in some cases, depending.
すみません。あなたを新選組の皆さん方のところに送り届けるはずだったのに。
You're fine, Iba.
全く逆の方向に向かうことになってしまいました。
Please don't worry about that. Iba had fallen for my ruse, which made his expression of guilt somewhat endearing, but all I truly wanted was for Iba not to regret missing out on fighting alongside the Ugeki unit. Somewhere in the twinkle of his charming smile, I figured that he knew what I'd actually wanted.
あなたの立場は僕の故障ということになっていますから。
Okay, so I went from Hijikata's page to Iba's page. Alright, at least it's better than the story that Nagakura came up. Which oh god, it's like sister's son or something, or So I don't remember what Nagakura came up, but he was bad.
本山以外の大使の前では話を合わせておいてください。
Understood.
故障じゃなくて正直に嫁さんだって言っておけばよかったのに。
Motoyama's still trying to be wingman.
何を言ってるんです。大使の前でそんな浮ついた真似ができるはずないでしょう。
でも夫婦揃って決起なんてかっこいいじゃないか。
You know, Motoyama has a point. That can be an inspiration, but also why? Motoyama! As I said before, Iba and I are just friends. The two of us wouldn't work well together. I'm just a girl from the city.
そんなの近藤さんの養女にしてもらえば問題ないだろう。
Motoyama. I'm really liking Motoyama. Holy sh... Oh god, how many children does Kondo have? I know he has at least one. And it's a daughter. He adopted another daughter? Oh my god. That's a discussion for him to have with his wife.
あの人は今や大名だし、絶対に嫌とは言わないだろうしな。
Yeah, I can see Kondo-san being absolutely ecstatic at this. Well, because of a familiar relationship, perhaps Kondo-san would have gone along with it, but it felt like a stretch. I don't know. The man has gone through loops. He has done a lot of things for Chizuru. Well, either way, this joke needn't go further. My role is irrelevant since the battle is approaching soon.
冗談じゃないんだけどな。まあいいか。
Yep, officially he is much more of a wingman than Otori. As the frenzy of war loomed, we still had no clue as to where Takeda, our father, were hiding. Right, Takeda. A thought in the back of my mind convinced me that they would rear their ugly heads in the middle of a large-scale battle just to antagonize us. Given that the stage was being set and so, too, its cast of players, I had to remain vigilant.